Hello everyone, today I'll show you how to properly utilize the tank designer in Hoi 4. I'll show everything about tanks, like doctrine, research, modules, designs, and etc. So let's start with doctrines. You have two main choices, mobile warfare and superior firepower. Superior firepower gives you 20% hard attack, 10% defense on mech, and 10% soft attack. While mobile warfare gives you breakthrough, speed, double the recovery rate of superior, and way more orc. You also get backhand blow, which is one of the best tactics for tanks, especially on defense, because it counters breakthrough, which is the strongest one on offense. So now let's get to what you need to research to make proper templates. First, you're going to need a cannon. So the best cannons that you should use are over here on the anti-tank research. So the best one that you can do again on mediums against tanks is high velocity 2. And the best one that you should do against like infantry builds, D-Day and stuff like that is medium cannon. You're also going to need the chassis, so don't go for these ones. You really don't need the extra reliability from it. You can just compensate the reliability from going diesel engine and adding extra engine here. You should also pick up a good radio. You should either have radio 2 or 3 in your tanks, because it gives really good stats. You cannot really ignore it. Like the extra breakthrough and defense is just irreplaceable. And you should always have a flame tank. It just gives insane modifiers. It gives like 10% on forest, 15 on urban. You really need this, otherwise your tank won't perform it well. So now let's talk about reliability and tank designers. The amount of reliability you need is based off the amount of tanks you have in one battalion. So the more battalions you have, the more reliability you will need. I will put a chart on the screen that showcases the optimal amount of reliability you need for amount of battalions. Okay, so now let's showcase all of the tank designers that you have at your disposal. So most countries don't really have a choice. For example, Spain and South Africa only have the generic tank designer, while countries like Germany and Russia have custom ones. So your main choice is between the 5% hard attack or the 10% reliability. I would suggest testing your tank design to see if you have enough reliability beforehand, and then choose your tank design accordingly. Okay, so now let's get into how to actually make tanks. So here I picked Henshaw, speed and reliability, and I also went mobile warfare, right. So here I'm going to make a medium cannon with the basic medium chassis. Now for the main armament, it's in most multiplayer games, your tanks will be fighting other tanks, so high velocity is definitely the best pick. But if you know that you are gonna be fighting infantry only, or maybe motorized tanks if someone is doing them, you should go medium cannon, or if it's only infantry, then just feel completely free to go howitzer. But now I'm gonna go medium cannon. For the turret, you should always go 3-man turret, it gives the most breakthrough and is not that expensive. Now for the extra modules, so if dozer blades are allowed, immediately put one on. This gives one entrenchment for every single tank that you can put in your division, so you can stack insane amounts of entrenchment and never get clipped. Also, you should put small cannons, 2 of them in medium cannon. You cannot put more, it doesn't let you. You should also go for a radio, the tech that you have. Never forget to upgrade it, because well, the bonuses that you get are just amazing. You should always have one. If you need extra reliability, you should go for wet ammunition. If not, you can just ignore this, or maybe even put additional machine guns. It's completely up to you. Now for the suspension. So unless you don't have enough speed, you shouldn't really change this. Bog suspension is very cheap and you don't need any of the extra stats that these give you. For armor, you shouldn't change off riveted. Riveted is the most efficient one. It's the cheapest one, and there is way better ways to put armor in your tank. For the engine, there is absolutely no point in going above 8 kilometers, because the fastest that mech can go is 8. So make sure you're at that. Now, instead of gasoline engine, you can just put in a diesel one, then upgrade the engine even more, and you have the exact same speed, but way more reliability. So this is why you really don't need the second improved medium chassis. As you can see, we're way over the reliability that we need. It's more expensive, and it takes a lot of research that you can really save up and invest into other stuff. Now for flame tanks, if you're making normal tanks and you don't plan to use this as a support company for infantry, you should just make the cheapest one that gives you a decent amount of breakthrough. So you can put 3-man turret, and then spam extra ammunition storages, and then up the engine to as much as you need to get the same amount as your tank. So we have about 8 now, and we get a decent amount of breakthrough for very cheap here. If you want to go the cheapest possible, you can just make it like this. and then upgrade the engine again, and it's like 1 IC cheaper, but you're going to have 1 factor unit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So now here we have our template. It's very recommended that you go for 9 mech so that you can get extra HP and defense, so that you don't lose that much tanks when you get clicked or when you attack, because in the way that combat works now in the new DLC, there is way more combat overall because everyone makes faster tanks, and you're going to lose way more, and the manpower in your tanks isn't reinforced fast enough, so your tanks will be left with equipment but no manpower, so they'll have reduced stats. So going for 9 mech is recommended. If you know that you're going to have Red Air, for example, as Germany on D-Day, you can just take off 1 tank, and actually you don't really need to do it here, but you can just take off the mech. You can put 2 of this, and you get 92 air attack. It's very good to research T-stacks and produce anti-air too. It's way better than SPA, because this is only 1 combat width, and for 2 combat width we get 92 air attack, and SPA will give us like maybe 40 air attack for 2 combat width. So now you may notice another issue. We only have 23 armor, and any infantry that has anti-tank 1 or 2 is going to pierce us. So what we can do is go into the text and research the heavy tanks here. So if you make this design with heavy 2, if someone has anti-tank 3, he will pierce you. But if you make it with heavy 3, you will never get pierced by infantry. It's best that you make it with super heavy, but if you cannot afford it, just make it with a normal heavy. I'll make all of the templates with all the designs and show the difference. So this is with heavy 2, we're going to put any cannon on it, just so we can get piercing. We're also going to be using this as a TD, so we can boost our stats and get more piercing in case someone does the same tanks against us. We're going to put modules that give us extra armor, so for example armor skirts, warped armor, and then we can just fill the rest of the 2 slots with whatever else we can need, like extra ammunition for more breakthrough or defense, and wet ammunition for breakthrough. Then we can max out the armor and engine upgrades, so we can actually get the armor needed. And then armor, you should swap to welded. Don't use cast armor, it's like 5 more armor and it's insane IC. It's like 5 IC for 5 armor, it's really not worth it. Now here is the exact same design, but with heavy tank 3, you may notice that the armor is way higher. And here it is with the super heavy. Now let's put in the template to see the armor that we have. If we put a super heavy TD, you can immediately see that the armor is insanely high, so absolutely no infantry will ever pierce this. It's a way better way to put armor in your tanks instead of just upgrading armor in your mediums. Also with the heavy TD, it's way cheaper and you get essentially similar results. So that's it from me today. Have a nice day and see you next time.